hizi shop zote 3 ni zake. Na next door anachukua pia.
Na imagine tuko na haka kitu kamoja tu.
Na bodyguards zako na wana.
Nasikia wanamshughulikia everything. ATM zake, credit card zake 24/7.
Hadi usiku.
Kwani 24/7 inamaanisha?
That means anamlipia hata bill zake pia. KRA, NHIF, UEFA. Anafanywa zote akiwa ametulia tu hivi.
Kitu kingine nasikia ni eti so secure.
Kana kuna bank yake, si vitu kama hizi utakamtoa anaenda kwa bank. Nasikia hiyo katu hivi. The whole day kwa tablet akifanywa kila kitu.
Na hao bodyguards wake ndio umpelekea do kwa majuu.
Unaona wale wawili waso au fanya bulk payments.
Nilisikia ni ati local accounts zake, foreign accounts zake anashughulikiwa.
Aki no wonder business yake imegrow hivyo. Lazima kuna bank yake special.
Your banking team is at your fingertips. Go digital. Visit coopbank.co.ke and click on New Internet Banking.
Thank you for trusting us as your #1 informative television. Join me, Rida Chebet, every day as I bring you the latest news at Maisha Live at 1 and update at 6, right here at Maisha Television.
Wakati mafuta imeongeza hivi, wao wameongeza commission yao to 28.1%.
I have a visual disability,
Yes,
which has been with me for a long time.
No, I'm asking the second part.
Swala la utovu wa nidhamu limezua hisia mseto nchini.
Caning is not bad for the students. Juu hata sisi wazazi wetu walikuwa natuadhibu tukiwa wadogo when we were growing up.
We are now more organized than ever before.
Indeed, this is the fastest growing television in Kenya.
At Maisha Television, we are impartial and independent.
The presidential election of the 26th October is hereby upheld.
Every day, we create distinctive professional programs, content which inform, educate, and entertain.
If the money has been approved, then it should be disbursed on time.
Glad to have you on board this afternoon and welcome to Maisha Live at 1. My name is Rida Chebet Kevin. Welcome. Education CS Professor George Magoha has today disclosed that some schools unexpectedly got thousands of applicants from KCP 2020 candidates. Speaking during the launch of the 4-month selection results in Nairobi, Magoha revealed that NANYUKI Boys High School as the most selected school by the candidates and went ahead to name other schools, including NANYUKI Boys High School with 154,524, Kabianga High School with 142,000, Nyandarua High School 123,000, Nakuru High School 100,000, Butere High School with 94,000, Mboni High School with 93,000. Some of the popular schools that got thousands of applicants include Alliance Girls with 105,000, Pangani with 124,000, Masengo with 104,000, and Kapsabet Boys with 95,000. Faith Momo, the girl who emerged top in KCPE with 433 marks, will join Kenya High, while Wanyonyi Samuel, the top boy who scored 430, will join Mangu High School. Special needs candidates were also placed in regular schools of their preference. The CS stated that students who scored 400 and above were placed in the national schools and extra county schools of their choice. The CS also announced that Form 1 students will report to school on August 2nd, 2021, adding that all candidates had been placed in government learning facilities.
National schools, girls that are admitted there are 17,406, boys 18,848, total 36,254. SNE girls 536, boys 1,291. I would like to ask my handlers to find out whether could there be girls with SNE that we are not picking. from the population. This difference is very big. Total 1,829. Extra county schools have taken girls 95,646, boys 105,431. Total 201,077. County schools, girls 115,325, boys 98,266. Total 213,591. Sub-county schools, girls 357,029, boys 361,487, total 718,516. Totals I've given you. We have strictly applied the principles of equity, fairness, merit, transparency, inclusiveness, and affirmative action in placing candidates to each school category. And that's why this placement has taken a little bit longer, and I wish to apologize to the NANYUKI, but you see it is better to give a thorough job done a little bit later. Now the national school category, and let me just say that the girls are more than boys. So it is time now to start focusing on the boy child. We have got 585,942 girls compared to 585,323 boys. At this rate, I don't know what's going to happen next year. So we must start pitching the tent for the boy also. Since the girl is the receptacle, we will still have to ensure that we carry the girl to school, because some of them may have already been confused now. Whether they are pregnant or not, we are taking them to school.
And it is now a must for anyone seeking to vie for public office in the coming 2022 polls to have at least a bachelor's degree as academic qualifications. This is according to Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati, who reiterated that there will be no postponement of the law enshrined in the Constitution. Our reporter has the details.
Raila Odinga.
Before 2022 general polls campaigns officially start, political leaders and aspiring political candidates are already facing the Wafula Chebukati-led IEBC's qualifications hurdle ahead of the elections. IEBC, through the chair, has cautioned that members of parliament and county assemblies must be holders of bachelor's degree to stand a chance to vie for the political seats.
The IEBC is a creature of the law. We follow what's in the law, and the law is very clear. If you look at section 22 of the Elections Act, that all candidates in the 6 elective positions come the next general election must have a university degree to be able to qualify to run for office. I think that law is clear.
The spanner thrown by the IEBC boss seems to shake and frustrate political aspiring candidates who do not hold bachelor's degrees from the reputable learning institutions. According to IEBC, this law, whose implementation date has been postponed several times in the elections calendar since promulgation of the new constitution, will take full effect in the coming year.
We are in a country where I think we have cases of fake degree certificates. The commission has been having engagements with the Kenya National Qualifications Authority and the Commission for University Education. We are soon finalizing an MOU between the 3 institutions where all qualifications will be verified
Members of National Assembly in the year 2017 successfully amended Section 22 of the Election Act, which stipulated the minimum academic qualification for the lawmakers for both national and county assemblies. The requirement for legislators to have a degree was first enacted in the Election Act of the year 2011, and its implementation was to take effect in the year 2013 general elections. However, the majority of the MPs who lacked degrees at the time successfully convinced former President Mwai Kibaki and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, who suspended the clause for the next 5 years. In 2017, the MPs circumvented the clause through Parliament and voted for a transitional clause in the Act and pushed its implementation to the year 2022. Both the National and County Assemblies members have been surviving on this law. The IEBC is working round the clock in thorough preparation for the next general polls, with an election strategic plan set to be launched on Tuesday. The IEBC is also including the boundary review process in the strategic plan following the launch of voter awareness drive.
The Commission has registered a total of 149,600 new voters, bringing the total registered voters to 19,678,885. Once that budget is made available, we shall undertake mass voter registration. As you have heard, we have about 4 million youth plus who need to be registered, and this then must be done once we get the funds availed to us. But in the meantime,
the launch of the boundaries review is seen as a setback to BBI, currently under court order not to move to the referendum stage that had its opponents hopeful that Kenyans will pass it to have 70 new constituencies. Maisha TV.
All the Ministry of Petroleum and Mining and the Energy, Petroleum and Regulatory Authority have laid the blame for the high cost of fuel prices in the country at the doorstep of the National Treasury for its high taxation regime. Appearing before the Senate Energy Committee, which was seeking to get to the root cause of the high prices of petroleum prices, the Acting Director General for the EPRA, Daniel Kipto, revealed that a litre of super petrol is taxed 57 shillings and 17 cents in Kenya against the 41 shillings in neighboring Uganda.
If you look at Uganda, today the taxes of super petrol are 41 shillings and in Nairobi is 57 shillings and 17 cents. So you can already see a 16 shillings and 77 cents difference in taxation. However, if you look at the landed price of super, in Kampala it is 125 shillings and 12 cents and in Nairobi it's 126 shillings and 37 cents. So you can see that almost 17 shilling delta really will tell you that the product in Uganda is more expensive if you were to have a tax equal environment between Kenya and Uganda on super petrol.
In addition to that, the prices are a snapshot where there is no price control. Depending on when they imported their product, the marketers are free to put up the price or reduce the price. But as a constant, one of the things that is there that we can say, we can put our finger on, is the difference in between the taxation between Kenya and Uganda.
Deputy President William Ruto has questioned the president after he declared that he will pick his 2022 successor from among the NASA principals.
Really? Katika nchi ya nani?
The DP was reacting to a story done by one of the local newspaper where President Uhuru Kenyatta declared that he will pick his 2022 successor from among the NASA principals if they unite and agree on a single candidate.
How wonderful it is, you know, to see my brother Stephen being flanked by Chap Chap and Nak. It's beautiful. Huh? Because I will assure you, there is no way a country can move forward if leaders are not together.
For the first time, Uhuru on Monday challenged the NASA principals to unite to enhance their chances of forming the next government after he retires next year. The declaration knocks off Deputy President William RUTO from Uhuru's succession matrix. The two are not seeing eye to eye, and the president has numerously given signals that he was politically done with RUTO. NASA, which unsuccessfully ran against Uhuru in 2017, comprises of Raila Odinga of ODM, Kalonzo Musyoka of Wiper, Musalia Mudavadi of ANC, and Ford Kenya's Moses Wetangula.
I have done much more than I was able to do even in my first term. Why? Because I have been able to focus myself, working in conjunction with my colleagues, and being able to focus on the development agenda, not the political agenda. It is not about where you are. It is about where we are. And the minute you start talking we, that is the basis of success today and into the future. So please, just as we are here today as we.
Speaking at State House, Nairobi, where he held talks with elected leaders from the Ukambani region, Uhuru said the unity of the NASA chiefs will determine if they will form the next government.
We are not here, sijui chap anakuja hapa kulia, sijui Wiper wamefanya nini, na hako hapa kusema sijui hawa, mko hapa kwa sababu ya maendeleo ya wananchi wa region ya Ukambani. Na ndipo tulikuwa tunasukuma BBI. BBI sio ya kutafutia mtu kiti. BBI ilikuwa kuhakikisha ya kwamba every part of this country ijisikie iko ndani ya serikali.
The Indian government says it will offer 400 scholarships to Kenyans as part of cementing the long-held ties between the two nations. Speaking on Monday in Nairobi after commissioning the refurbishment of Mahatma Gandhi Memorial Library at the University of Nairobi, the India External Affairs Minister Jaishankar said Kenya and India have a long history dating back to the construction of Mombasa-Uganda Railway.
But this is not just a moment for self-congratulation. It's also perhaps a time to reflect on the larger significance of the relationship between India and Kenya. As you all know, India's association with this university goes back decades, and the very memory of Mahatma Gandhi was meant to underline our strong solidarity.
The library you have come to inaugurate was constructed by the support of the Asian community in Kenya, the Gandhi Memorial Society. The relationship between Kenya and India has been awesomely long. We share long trade ties, including sea trading.
And it is so appropriate then that today we gather here to celebrate perhaps the best manifestation of that statement: investment in empowering education.
The refurbished Mahatma Gandhi Graduate Library is designed to make learning experience more enjoyable and entertaining. The Mahatma Gandhi Library is an ultra-modern library that will provide very high-quality services and resources to the university community.
And the Council of Governors has, for the 10th time, taken a swipe at the Treasury over the late disbursement of funds. The Council's chair, who doubles up as Embu Governor Martin Wambora, has maintained that the Treasury is yet to disburse 102.6 billion shillings to the devolved units barely 2 weeks to the end of the financial year. Wambora further maintained that the late disbursement will further hinder service delivery in the midst of a pandemic.
We are not children of a lesser God in the counties. This should not be tolerated by those who support the success of devolution in Kenya.
County governments will be forced to shut down by June 24th this year if the National Treasury fails to disburse 102.6 billion shillings owed to them.
Seeing counties stigmatized, for failing to offer critical services, and especially now in the face of COVID-19 pandemic, for what is beyond them. While Kenyans continue to demand services from the county government, operations at the national government continue uninterrupted, owing to timely financing from the national treasury, while those operations in the counties are slowly grinding to a halt.
This is the statement according to Council of Governors Chairman Martin Wambora, who in a press today on Monday faulted Treasury for what he termed as violation of the law.
Treasury has not only failed to comply with the Constitution, but even with its own document, which is the cash disbursement schedule of 2020. They are not following it.
Wambora, who is also Embu governor, said Treasury is yet to disburse the said amount, yet it is just 2 weeks to the end of the financial year. He said this is also in spite of a stipulation by the county government's cash disbursement schedule for the financial year 2020-2021, generated by Treasury and approved by Senate in line with the Public Finance Management Act, stating that resources should be disbursed on the 15th of every month. Governor Wambora broke down the 102.6 billion shillings as 3.5 billion shillings owed to Nairobi County Government as arrears for the financial year 2019-2020, 2.6 billion shillings owed to Nairobi County Government for January, and another 1.4 billion shillings for February. 14.4 billion shillings is also owed to 25 county governments for March, while 28.5 billion shillings is owed to 47 counties for April, 25.3 billion shillings for May, and 26.9 billion shillings for June.
We are not children of a lesser God.
The COG chairman hence stated that owing to these, counties are unable to meet their statutory obligations and fiscal responsibilities such as payment of employees' salaries, remittance of employee statutory deductions, payment of suppliers' eligible pending bills, implementation of development projects, and derailed response in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. Governor Wambora stated that counties will be unable to clear their pending bills amounting to 11.5 billion shillings as directed by Treasury Cabinet Secretary UHURU during his budget speech if the funds are not disbursed to the devolved units.
If the National Treasury release the resources outstanding, county governments will be able to clear most of the eligible pending bills, pay salaries on time, and remit statutory deductions. Otherwise, counties cannot comply with this directive.
On behalf of the counties, he appealed to the Senate, the custodian of devolution, to support counties in their call for quick disbursement as the law provides for efficient service delivery since most operations across counties are currently paralyzed. He further added that this will offer counties the remaining 8 working days to satisfy the stringent requirements by the Control of Budget in accessing and spending the funds. The governor's boss said that it will be an unfortunate scene if the National Treasury fails to release the required funds, leading to counties' failures to offer basic services, thereby forcing suspension of services or a total shutdown by 24th June of this year.
Unfortunately, if the National Treasury fails to release the required funds, counties will not be able to offer basic services, thereby forcing suspension of services or a total shutdown by 24th June 2021.
Maisha TV.
And that's all we had for Maisha Live at 1. My name is Rida Chebet Kering.
For trusting us as your #1 informative television. Join me, Rida Chebet, every day as I bring you the latest news at Maisha Live at 1 and update at 6 right here at Maisha Television.
Wakati mafuta imeongeza hivi, wao wameongeza commission yao to 28.1%.
I have a visual disability,
yes,
which has been with me for a long time.
No, I'm asking the second part.
Suala la utovu wa nidhamu limezua hisia mseto nchini.
Caning is not bad for the students. Juu hata sisi wazazi wetu walikuwa natuadhibu tukiwa wadogo when we were growing up.
We are now more organized than ever before.
Indeed, this is the fastest growing television in Kenya.
At Maisha Television, we are impartial and independent.